Let's learn how to make a strawberry whipped cream tart. Hey bakers, welcome back to my channel. We have another tart recipe for you this week and we're going to dive straight into making our shortcrust pastry base for it. And as you can see, I've started off adding some all-purpose flour, salt and plant-based butter. And this recipe is actually dairy-free. And we're just going to mix those three ingredients together with our hand mixer until you reach that breadcrumb stage that you can see here. Now you're still going to have some bits of butter in there, but they're actually going to help create that really gorgeous texture that we have in a shortcrust pastry. Now we're going to add the remaining ingredients, which is 30 grams of icing sugar and 1 beaten egg as well. That's going to help give richness to our pastry and also just combine everything together, as well as you need some kind of liquid to pull all of those ingredients together. And you can see that that happens really quickly once you add that egg. It'll start to clump together on your mixer, so just make sure you give it a whiz at the end just to get the rest of the pastry off of there. Then give your bowl a scrape down. Add some flour to your work surface and then we're going to go ahead and roll it out. Now this pastry recipe, as you can see, just has 5 ingredients and it is probably the simplest shortcrust pastry that you can make. And with this one, we're going to actually make 4 tart cases with it. It's about 380 grams of pastry in total, so you can divide that up evenly or just eyeball it if you prefer. You're going to want to knead it on your surface a few times just to combine everything together so that it's a nice and smooth ball. And then here I've just taken a quarter of that pastry and I'm rolling it out again on my floured surface to stop it sticking, roughly eyeballing the size that I need for my little tart case here, which is about a 4 3/4 inch tart case as well. These are so cute and easy to work with because the bottom actually comes out, so when you have finished making your tart, it's really easy to get it out of the case afterwards without having to prise it out with a knife or anything. You'll notice I didn't grease it either because the pastry has that little bit of grease in it. When it bakes, it is actually going to come away from the tart case nice and easily for us. So press it against the sides, trim off any excess, which you can then re-roll and put back in with the remaining pastry dough. Then you're just going to add some holes to it with a fork. Now this really helps with the baking process. It makes everything nice and even. And then we're going to do one last thing, and that's actually blind bake our pastry. Now the tart that we're making today just has a cold filling in it and doesn't need to be baked. So we want to make sure that our case is actually baked properly first. So we're going to start off with adding some parchment paper on top of the pastry and then add in baking beads to it. This will weigh everything down, help it bake really evenly as well as they collect heat, and then you're going to pop it in your oven for 10 minutes at 340 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm just showing one here on this tray, but you could pop all of your 4 trays on your baking sheet, and then when it comes out, take those baking beads out, being careful as they are still hot, and we're going to bake off the center of that case for 5 minutes until it looks like this. So it has baked really well. It doesn't actually go golden brown, but that's perfect for this particular tart. Next, we're going to make our dairy-free whipping cream. And the first thing you'll notice is that my bowl and my mixer attachments are actually cold here. I actually popped them in the freezer for 10 minutes because that's going to make sure that our whipping cream whips up really well and doesn't lose any of its stability. Whipping cream is quite temperamental in the heat, and if you've ever used it on cakes, you'll know that you really have to make it and serve it straight away, or if you've stored it in the fridge, make sure that you serve it as soon as it comes out. So to start with, we're just whipping up that whipping cream until it's slightly frothy. Then I'm adding in 120 grams of icing sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste as well. And you'll notice at the beginning, I actually added a whole carton of dairy-free whipping cream that I bought from the store. That's the equivalent of 473 ml or 1 pint of whipping cream, and the combination of those two ingredients, the whipping cream and the ice and sugar, will give us that really nice firmer consistency. Of course, the flavouring, you can add whatever flavour you like. I just wanted some nice vanilla bean flavouring for this tart just to complement the fruit that we're going to put on the end as well. So this is coming together really easily. It is literally so quick to make dairy-free whipping cream this way. Again, make sure everything is cold when you do this, and the cream will actually come out a lot better for you. So whip it until you get the consistency that you want. For this particular tart, I just want it to be a nice, easy, spreadable consistency. So this will be about right for us. That looks great. Now we can go ahead and start putting everything together. So my tart case has cooled. I'm just cutting up a couple of strawberries here. You could obviously add blueberries or any different type of fruit as well if you wanted to dress it up. And then we're just going to go ahead, take some of our whipped cream icing using a cranked spatula or a tapered spatula, and then spreading it on top of that pastry base. And you could put as much or as little as you like here. It's really a personal preference on how much cream you like to accompany your tarts. So that looks great. We've got a nice even base there, and now it's as simple as just popping the fruit on. You could do it in a fancy design if you wanted to, or make it quite rustic, entirely up to you. But this is such an easy dessert to make. The great thing about it as well is that you can actually make these pastry cases in advance, pop them in an airtight container until you're ready to fill them, and then make your cream and do all your ingredients just before you want to serve the tart. And there we go, nice and simple, really satisfying dessert as well. We're going to go ahead and cut it so you can see what it looks like on the inside as well. We've got a great ratio of cream to pastry, and obviously those strawberries as well, just to give it that nice fruity edge. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Why not check out this video for my chocolate ganache tart, and also have a look at my other baking videos as well. As always, the link to the recipe will be in the description box below. I'd love to hear your comments of what you think of this video, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.